Hi guys, welcome to the Alan Show. This show is about trying to come out of this crisis without scratches, coming out with the circumstances with the best possible outcome, helping one another, reaching out one person to illuminate you, illustrate you, inspire you, and at worst, try to entertain you. Okay? Let's listen a little bit to our Tchaikovsky. It's all perception. It's all the way we look at things. Remember, the universe is made out of light. That's how with a telescope, they can see the stars because they shine. And we're made of that inside of us. That's why we're not plugged into anything. You notice, right? Well, here, there, we eat, and our energy, right? So when this energy is down, right, because of problems, terrible things, constant fear, letting other people get in our head, tell us how horrible life is, how horrible other people are because they don't agree with you, and then we dim our light. It's still there, just have to take that veil off. There you go, and the magic happens. See? Woo! Even the camera, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn off that madness, that craziness, that turn off our lights, that dims it out. And we're gonna turn the knowledge and illuminate the world, right? Our country needs us today more than ever before. This has been a tremendous impact in every which way, mentally, financially, in every which way. A lot of people are hurting. The last report I read, I think it was Friday, it was 3 million people lost their jobs and they're on unemployment. So that's not a good thing. But we're not going to get down. Now we're going to rise to the occasion because we are winners, right? So we're going to learn little things. We're going to go back to being in the library asking, hey, what book can help me get better? Because what happened, it didn't work. Gotta do something else. It's coming back. He loves it here. Soul, imagination, perception, right? All right. Going back to the topic in hand. I love music. All kinds of music. Funk, Saturday, boogie nights. I'm an older guy, but I like new music too. Harder to understand the lyrics, but I like the music. All right. Let's get busy. Get busy, get busy. Don't waste time. Do you know what time it is, right? So, we were talking about chaos. How we are addicted to chaos. Chaos at the house, chaos at school, chaos at the universities. How can there be chaos in learning centers, right? That's like an oxymoron, right? That can somebody explain that? Right? How can there be chaos in a learning? Chaos everywhere. A lot of unhappy people. And most people are unhappy because their lack of self-control and because they're very, very strong-willed and they want to control others. So whenever they feel like they can't control the situation or control others, and then there's anger, tantrums, insanity, and a lot of times it ends in crime. I can tell you all kinds of news of crazy things that people are doing because their hamburger was cold, or they didn't get ketchup, or they didn't get mayonnaise, or they were not the first one in line. But that's just a reaction Remember we talked about the toilet paper before? That was just a reaction of a situation. Because a lot of people are unhappy. But the first unhappiness begins right here. We talk about that, right? If you follow my videos, some of these things may be foreign to you, but if you can watch, then you can see what that means. So let's go back to this real quick. All right. Red represents chaos, right? It's just colors, okay? Don't get crazy out there. Just representing, right? Because, you know, red, right? It's our heritage, right? Let's say you grow up with a terrible family, you know, terrible people, no discipline, no communication, no affinity, nobody liked each other. They didn't even understand why they were together, and that was your family. Whether it's brothers, sisters, cousins, it was chaos. Always constant battles and chaos. What is that equals to? A lot of pain. Can you believe people get comfortable with pain? Some people, they just go out so it can get brutalized and pain. Right? But if they don't know any other way, how can you blame them? And society is responsible for that as a whole. Because we need to make sure that we're taking care of one another. But when we just let one wing flick, the bird flies this way, but we don't care because you're on this side of the wing, right? But what happens when both wings break? Then you start questioning, oh, why did this happen to me, right? Well, it happened to you because everything is together. Everything is a together. It's not like just your problem or my problem. It's our problem. When we go out in public, it's our problem. When you are home, it may be your problem, but it still is our problem. Because if your family does bad, other families will do bad. And it's just reaction. That's how we are connected. We may not like each other because we're not finding commonality, but we are connected as people. You know? Whether you're from this country altogether, and then we join Canada here, Mexico here, and if we don't like those, how can we be happy? We need to find commonality. That doesn't mean we're gonna bring everybody to your house, but what it means is you're gonna take an effort to understand and comprehend, right? You're gonna take an effort to at least know geography, to see who's behind you, who's in front of you, who's to the left and the right? However, inspire yourself with books and the good stuff. Now you don't even have to have that. That's just a prop, but now you can go online and get all this stuff. So real quick, before I run out of time in this video, this is part 2, right? So now we talk about in the video before, you were born, you become a student of life for about 20 years. 20 years you're out there trying to figure out, right? And in the meantime, you've gone through a lot of pain that has built up in you. This is going to affect all your future relationships if they're not taken care of. You know, you may sometimes be a passive person and allow other people to, but you're not going to be able to learn how to confront situations in a peaceful manner. What most people are going to do in cases like this is they let people get on them, and then one day they just simply blow up. And that's it. And that's not the way. See, so you go start practicing some of that resentment, that hostility, that anger, right? And that's part of the heritage. But then there is that moment of truth where you wake up one day and you say, there is something wrong here and I gotta do something about it. I don't want my kids, if you don't have kids, I don't want my future kids to have what I have. And I don't want these kids that I have now, if you do, to have that same future. So that is a point of breakthrough. That is the point of consciousness when you know now that there is something better. And that's what this is all about. In life, we have to always understand that there is something better. that there is always something better for us. I remember in that little cartoon movie when I was a kid. Not a kid. I'm sorry. When my kid was little, there has an American tale how they got in this boat and they thought that there was something better. So in life, the way I practice life is that I knew, regardless of what my present is, there's something better. If my present is good, I know there's something better. I don't have to take for granted what I have, but I know it can be better. And also, I know it can get worse if I'm not with my guard up, you know, light up with my information, and know that I'm in a world that is full of chaos. And at any minute, something can go upside down. Like in the movie Castaways, right? He's in a plane, he's in all that. Next thing you know, plane goes down, right? And what happens? His life is upside down, he's holding on to a ball. That can happen to anybody. Right? We take risk in life just for being alive, but you don't want to take unnecessary risk if you already understand that there is a better world, there is better life. Then let's say you had a breakthrough somewhere around here. This is called your heritage. You cannot do anything about that. A lot of people, they resent their family, right? They don't like it, they hate it. I don't like to use those words, but it is true, right? A lot of people can't stand their family, and some of them, they have elderly parents, and they don't talk to them, and it must be tremendous pain to know that you have children grown, and they don't care if you're alive or not. You see how that becomes unbearable. And it's unbearable for the person holding those feelings and for the person on the other end of those feelings. Because there's nothing they can do if this is one of them doesn't, right? The one holding the hostility doesn't break away from that, there's nothing this other person can do. So they're at the mercy of that person. And that person, because it's hurt, right? And rightfully so if you think about it, right? Like, but that's what life is about. Life is about breaking things that are wrong, breaking things that were made by perhaps people that weren't conscious about it, or they just didn't care. But that doesn't mean we have to be that way. And this is where it comes to. Real quick, this is the point of breakthrough, which is the legacy. You hear legacy everywhere, right? My legacy. I'm going to leave this like the president's legacy, the family legacy, the last name legacy, the city legacy, the country legacy, the world health legacy, right? What is legacy? Legacy is time that we use in consciousness. So here we are, we're a master of chaos, and one day we wake up. That's how it is. Just that one day somebody says something and it triggers your mind. You gotta stop doing that. You gotta be a better person. And one of those days, those things just trigger, and you go, from this point forward, I'm going to spend the rest of my life. I cannot erase what happened, but I'm going to change it for the better. I cannot change what I did, what happened, what they did to me, and I cannot change them, but I can change my present, my life, and my legacy. I don't have children now, but I'm going to change my legacy. I'm going to change my legacy for my name, for my heritage, and for my future children, in case you have. So what do you start doing? You start resetting all this. Oh, I had it. Okay. So let's use another color here. Let's use green, right? So here, you learn all that, you take it as an experience. It's a learning experience. It's an experience, a personal deep one, and then you transform it into a package of you. And this is where you start expressing out there. Then you go back to learning new things. Like if you're a student again, but this time you're learning the right stuff. What works, what makes people successful, what makes people happy, where is joy, right? And then we start traveling with that. We carry this tremendous experience and heritage, but we travel light now. We fade away. We forgive. We don't forget, but we forgive. And we give an opportunity to others to also see the change, right? So we start going into, we can teach, we can inspire, we can retire, and we can die. That is our legacy. And our legacy from chaos is order. You hear that a lot. Law and order, order this, order of that, order of that. We're going to learn about the word order. Right? Order means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all that means. That means you cannot go from 1 to 5 without first going 2, 3, 4. That's what order is. There's an order of everything. There's an order for a father. There's an order for a mother. There's an order for a daughter. There's an order for a grandfather, for a grandmother. There's an order for a customer. There's an order for a son, for a daughter. There's an order for everything. You can't just bypass it, because that's what creates chaos. When you're not conscious about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps of order, then you start taking things for granted, and chaos is the call of the day. You complain and you get angry because you're not learning the steps, right? So this is just a little capsule of what needs to be done in order to transform from a heritage of chaos and promoting chaos and being a victim of chaos and living in pain, and the future of your legacy being in pain, versus changing, transforming, taking that time to educate yourself, illuminate yourself, right? Big on this, right? And stop and turn off the chaos. It's just a choice. That doesn't mean you're going to raise everything, but it's just a choice. All right. So it's a new normal, they say. No, it's not. Chaos is never a normal. Chaos is the opposite of normal. So whenever you hear this phrase, remember, be on guard, be alert, because nothing good can come out of just getting used to being rationing, scares, and pain. There is nothing new normal in chaos. Stay alert. Maintain an order. Do it for your fellow men, for your fellow country, for the love of your land, for the world as a whole. We're not here because just chaos. We're here because there was an order of things. The sun comes out every day. The moon comes out every day. Whether it's here or here, there's an order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An order of things. So let's learn about that. Let's follow that stuff. And let's not be worried about it. Okay? I hope this helped you. Please subscribe, like.